Ya que está sentado el maestro, podemos hacer simbólicamente esta postración. Nuestras manos aquí en la frente, en la garganta y hacia el corazón, como que barriendo las manos hacia abajo, y nuevamente podemos elevarlas como ofreciendo esta naturaleza pura nuestra hacia la frente, hacia la garganta, hacia el corazón, cuerpo, habla y mente, 3 puertas que tenemos que aprender a manejar.
Now, we should start straight, isn't it? Or maybe today is a religious kind of oriented gathering. I think you would like to start with a refuge and bodhicitta, maybe. I don't know. If yes, then do you have any arrangement to do this? Somebody will lead, yeah? I'm not very good at this, you know. Do you have any arrangement? Or maybe I do it? I do it. Okay, that's it. I'm not sitting very nicely. Okay. Oh, by the way, maybe this has it. Is it? Okay, then we go back. Go to what it has here. Refuge is very, very important, you know. That is the reason why. It is almost like people think that refuge in the bodhicitta development is just like a tradition of Buddhism. It's not only a tradition. I mean, okay, tradition is also good, nothing wrong. But you should really understand why is it so that it's so important. That is very important, you know, very important to understand. It's a very interesting. Otherwise, you know, a refuge is bodhicitta, I mean, Buddhist tradition. It's just a tradition, you have to do it. It's like an obligation. No, it's not like that. You don't have to do it if you don't know what is what is the refuge means. And you don't have to do it. And if you don't have to do it if the bodhicitta, you don't know what is the bodhicitta about, what's all about. So you don't really have to do it. There's no obligation. Buddha Shakyamuni said there is no obligation. Nothing is obligation in this world, in this life. Nothing. You just have to understand. First of all, you have to understand. Then obligation or not obligation, it's your choice. It's not somebody's choice. It's not Guru's choice. It's not the master's choice. It's not even the Buddha's choice, Buddha Shakyamuni's choice, you know. It's our choice. Yesterday also I was talking this to someone, to some sort of like a audience. I said the same thing. You know, the Buddhist, maybe you like, if you like, you can say the beauty of Buddhist teaching. Or maybe this is a tradition, if you like. The real Buddhist tradition is that we have a freedom. Buddha Shakyamuni has given us the freedom. We have a freedom. Which one you want to choose? You want to sort of like, you know, you want to know, you have to understand. And after understanding, then you can go about. You can go according to what you really understand. And that's the learning procession. You have to learn, you have to study, you have to practice, and then studying makes you sort of understand intellectually, and then practice mostly. Practice will sort of give you the experiential knowledge. And these two are very important, experiential knowledge and then the intellectual knowledge. These two are very important. If you do not have these, neither of these two, then I think it's very, very difficult. It's just empty, it's nothing. Now you always think that it's an obligation. It's an obligation to do the refuge, chanting. Even if you don't want, even if you don't understand, you just do it. You have to do it. Or bodhicitta development, yes, you have to do it. Even though you don't have a compassion, you don't have a sense of love, you don't have any understanding about importance of the love and compassion, doesn't matter. You have to do it. So that means then it's like why? It's because the God told you, or because that the Buddha Shakyamuni told you, or because that the Buddha, the Guru told you to do it, or that the society told you to do it. Rubbish. This is really rubbish, It's not. This is the reason why we are not really doing very well. I'm sorry, but we as a Buddhist, we don't do very well. Even though we have a label of the being Buddhist, but we're not doing Buddhist way. We are doing the Buddhist ritual practices and all these things. We are doing it, but we are really we are losing the principle of the Buddhist teaching, and we are not doing the Buddhist way. We are doing maybe I don't know what mundane way, or maybe a religious way. We are like always stuck with the religion. You do some chanting and all these things, and it's become a religion. It is always we have become a religion. Always. Religion is a wrap, and you stuck. I mean, you just simply imagine that. What if you're stuck with the wrap and you're not getting the puzzle like a gift inside? You're just stuck with the wrap that there is nothing inside. A very beautiful wrap, wrapping, very beautiful wrapping, and you're just stuck with the wrapping and you don't get the gift inside. Christmas gift, whatever gift, birthday gift, you may be having a very beautiful gift, but you're not getting gift. You're just stuck with the wrapping. How stupid that going to be? Very stupid, isn't it? So religion is like that. You're just stuck with the religion. You're just stuck with the wrapping. That's it. I always go against a religion, even though it's a beautiful. Look at my throne. It's very nice. I still sometimes I feel a little insecure, but very good. Very nice. Very, very nice. Lovely, colorful, very nice. But it's a religion, it's a religion. Nothing wrong about it, actually. But if you're stuck with that, what does it mean? I mean, what does it do? Beautiful, yes, but there are heaps of beautiful things out there anyway. And if you're stuck with the beautiful, then of course you can stuck with anything. And so far we were stuck in. Since beginningless of the time till today, for example, the butterfly stuck with the light, so they go and jump into the fire, candlelight. Then they go and jump and they burn themselves. Why? Because they got stuck with the colorful and the light and all the brightness and all those things. They got stuck. Like we are, same thing. We stuck with the beautiful people, the handsome man, beautiful woman, and beautiful color, beautiful flower, beautiful, everything is beautiful. And you just get stuck. We all get stuck with that. And Buddha Shakyamuni want us not to get stuck with any kind of things, We want to be free. That's the thing. That's the bottom line. That's the reason why the Buddha Shakyamuni also emphasizes about the, what do you call that? Renunciation, monk, nun, all these difficult hood, I would say, all these, all these complicated hood to us, But it's not complicated. Actually, message is that you have to be free yourself. You have to be trying your best to liberate yourself. You don't want to get stuck with it. So it's the same thing. You don't want to get stuck with the beautiful wrapping things, be it religiously or non-religiously. Doesn't matter. Many of them are non-religiously. But in the church, in the temple, in the monastery, that's a religiously you get stuck. You know, monastery is looking very good. Temple is looking so nice, so colorful. You don't even know what it really or what's all about, but it's so colorful. You know, it's like unbelievable. Church as well, everything, and you get stuck. It's the same thing. It will definitely trap you. So religiously trapping, and some are non-religiously trapping. You know, for example, like you get trapped in some of the beautiful club, or I don't know, something like that, or maybe a beautiful garden. Nothing wrong, beautiful garden, but that will also trap you if you get attached to it. If you get sort of like if you get like a misunderstanding upon this kind of existence, then it's stuck. So that is the reason why. This is just a part of my gossip, but you know, the refuge. When you say refuge, people say yes, refuge. Let's do refuge. Oh, if you don't do refuge, then very bad. Why? Why very bad? If you don't do refuge, why bad? Why bad? No, then Buddha will punish you. No. Because you didn't do good. You didn't do refuge. Buddha will punish you. Your guru is there upstairs. Upstairs will look CCTV. No? The guru will punish you. Mahakala will punish you. The Dakini will punish you. Oh, very bad. No, you better do it. Typical religion. Typical religion, you know. You have no choice, but you have to do it. So, where is freedom? Where is liberation? This is not right. First, you have to understand why refuge needs to be done. Then, after you develop some sense of understanding, then you will know what to do, what to say. Important or not important. Then you will know. You will be the Buddha to tell you what to do with the refuge. You know. Okay? And you will know how important, how not important the bodhicitta is also. You will know that. You don't have to be fear. You don't have to be doing it with a fear. Fear is not accepted by the Buddhist, if you like, Buddhist tradition, or Buddhist school, or Buddhist theory. Fear is not accepted. If somebody try to scare you, then this means a religiosity, very much so. Religion is nothing but full of fear. This is what I feel. Sorry to say, but I feel that. Maybe I'm very pessimistic about it, very pessimistic, very wrong. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Even though I sit in a very, very high throne, but it doesn't mean that you cannot complain. You cannot say anything. You can. You can speak out. In fact, we are going to give you every session, or maybe the end of the session, or every session we give you a little bit of time, because I don't want to talk too much. I'm tired, I have been talking too much. Even in Mexico also, I have been talking, I don't know how many years. We have been talking quite a lot. I think many of you are my old student. And in America, and then the Europe and Southeast Africa, America, and Southeast, the Far East Asia, all these places, I talk. Now my battery is gone, I think. Talking too much. But I don't see any people practicing. That is the problem. That is the disappointment. I mean, I wouldn't say everybody is not practicing. I don't say that. There are many people, I think, some people who are trying to practice. But they are trying to practice in a way that They are trying their best. I mean, I'm very happy, but practicing religiously, it's nothing wrong. I'm telling you many times, nothing wrong to do that. But if you get stuck with that, very wrong. This is what I'm saying. The religiously, with the fear you do refuge. It's wrong. With the fear means fear of somebody is going to punish you. That's what I'm saying. With the fear of everybody is going to be suffering just because of their wrong deeds, then it is meaningful. Reason is very good, reasonable. But if you do not have that kind of reason, you just say that somebody is going to punish you. The Buddha is going to punish you. Mahakala will be punishing you. Guru will be punishing you. That's the wrong thing. So what I'm trying to say is that, we will give you the refuge, what do you call that? Refuge also we have some. Yesterday, the organization, they asked me, Drukpa Mexico, they asked me whether I like to give a refuge ceremonially. I said, why not? If somebody is happy, that's it. Just to make them happy. Happiness is the one thing, one of the, the aspect that we all sort of like looking for. So, no problem. Why not? Because they think that I'm not very much like, I don't really like to do religiously. So that's the reason they especially sort of ask me secretly whether you would like to do the refuge or no. I said, yeah, okay, why not? So that's the kind of thing. So we're going to be giving a little bit of time to ask questions. You can ask questions freely, and then we will talk. And now, refuge. Okay, now refuge actually means, now let's talk about refuge little bit. We don't want to take much of your time, but a little bit of time, taking a little bit of time, okay. The Buddha, okay, now Vajrayana, we call it Guru, Buddha, Dharma and Sangha. And the Mahayana, commonly we call it Buddha, Dharma and Sangha. So commonly we call it Guru, we don't pronounce Guru. And uncommonly we pronounce Guru, Buddha, Dharma. Guru, Namo Gurube, Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dharmaya, Namo Sanghaya. So anyway, the Buddha, Dharma and Sangha, the Buddha is, of course there are many sense of, or many, what do you call that, many aspects, or as not only aspect but many interpretation, you can say. Some of them are, the external Buddha, inner Buddha, secret Buddha. This is very easy way to put. So commonly, very commonly, it's an external Buddha is a very important to sort of talk about, and it's very easy also to understand, because Buddha Shakyamuni, I don't know how many thousand years ago, maybe 2,600, I don't know, something like that. Years ago, the Buddha Shakyamuni was in India. So he was the kind of a founder of the Buddhist teaching, as you know. He's a master, he's a great master. So he's the Buddha we're talking about. And Dharma means his teaching. He gave teaching, heaps of different teachings, because his teaching is, the reason why I'm saying heaps of teaching means his teaching is like varieties of teachings he gave, because he's a unique teacher, unique master. So he gave teachings according to the varieties of the students. So that's the reason the teaching also become varieties. So many varieties, very confusing, very, very confusing. Therefore, not many people likes comfortable with Buddhist teaching very much, because they are too much and confused. They're much more happy with the Musulmans' teaching. So that's the reason. I think the first biggest population of a populated religious group is Muslim, no? In the world. So it's a huge group, Why? Because everybody feels very comfortable, because it's only one, And the other ones are also maybe only one, maybe two, that's all. But the Buddhist teaching is so variety, so many. I mean, which is, that the only teaching that is available in this world has big doctrine, 100 over doctrine there of Lord Buddha's teaching. How can you sort of even read? Imagine to even read. It's kind of impossible for lay people like us. It's very difficult. And even if you read, you don't know what is this. So it is a very sort of like very confusing. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is that there is a teaching that Buddha Shakyamuni has given, different teachings. And now, of course, commonly speaking, of course, we have a Theravadan teaching. We have a Mahayana common teaching and Mahayana uncommon teaching, that is Vajrayana. And on top of that, of course, the Mahayana Mahamudra teaching, and also the teaching of Dzogpa Chenpo, and etc. So, the subtly we can make it like a three yanas, 9 yanas, and yana has no end actually. There's lots of yanas. Yana means the vehicle, okay, vehicle. There's a lot of, lot of dharma and vehicle and yana. All are similar. So that is his teaching, that is Buddha's teaching. Then dharma, the sangha actually means those who are practicing genuinely the teachings of Lord Buddha, be it in the form of Theravadan, be it in the form of Mahayana, or the Vajrayana, doesn't matter. The genuine practitioners are considered to be Sangha. This is, I would say that, I mean commonly. But of course specifically, then of course in the Theravadan way, it has to be a monk. They don't even say nun, they just say monk. And then also within the monk there is different types of vows, Vinaya. So that monk needs to be the bhikshu holder, the holder of the bhikshu Vinaya. And so that, the monk needs to be there, and also that there is a number of monks also. One cannot be Sangha, but you have to have a group of it, and then 8 or 4 or something. There's a lot of different subtle traditions, how sort of define the how do you say, the Sangha group. But anyway, generally speaking, to me, to my understanding, whoever is, that there's a little group to spend, I mean that little group who spend little time to sort of practice genuine dharma, genuine, the genuine path of the Lord Buddha, Lord Buddha's teaching is really the Sangha. So these 3 are the refuge, object, Buddha, Dharma and Sangha. Very simple. You just have to be like and taking refuge actually means, you just have to be very appreciative. I always say that the appreciation is really the essence of the Lord Buddha's teaching, Buddhist teaching, appreciation. And not only just appreciating what Buddha did, appreciating what teaching taught, appreciating what the Sangha how do you say, up to. not only these appreciation, but the appreciation really starting from the refuge appreciation, I think you have to appreciate everything. The other day I was talking about something like if you want to have a nice French, German, whatever, or Mexican maybe, I don't know, but bread, early morning for your breakfast. Very early morning, 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock, you can go on the street next block, you can buy a fresh bread, very nice, cut into pieces and then eat it. Very good, very yummy, very nice. But there is the bakery has to be there. Otherwise, you wouldn't be enjoying that. But people like me, or people like common people, like lay people like us, we don't appreciate what the bakery is doing. You don't appreciate bakery. We don't appreciate flour. The thing that you are making the bread with. And where this thing came from. Field, natural. The water did it. The humid did it. Humidity that they did it. And also worm did it. And the earth did it. Energy of all the elements, they sort of they worked very hard. They really were very, very important. And plus, farmer did it. Farmer, the couple, whoever. The farmer did it. And then, of course, the bakery, he bought it. And then, of course, he or she is making a little bit of money, making a living on. But it doesn't matter. He made it such a nice, such a delicious bread. And then we came and we bought it and we are enjoying for the breakfast, for example. The bread, which I like very much. That's the reason I'm saying it. But maybe some of you don't like bread. So there's no point talking about that. That's what I'm saying. But it doesn't matter. You like something. Maybe milk. It's same thing. Bread is just an example. But milk, butter, okay, tea, coffee, whatever. Whatever you like for. Early morning this is available. So you have to appreciate. It's not only just, just go and then like a robot, you just go in with a long face, cut, with a very long face, very early morning to start with the day, day with long face, no good. You have to appreciate. You have to be, you have to be very happy with the sense that, the fact that you are able to have a nice bread, with the fact that you are, really, that you are able to have a nice glass of milk, glass of fruit juice, something like that. You have to be appreciative. This is what I'm saying. No? So this is the Buddha Dharma, actually. Buddha Dharma, starting from taking refuge, the essence of the practice of refuge is the appreciation. You have to appreciate it. Many of other religion and many of the Buddhist people also, Buddhist follower, who doesn't know about this, then they sort of like they do refuge, but for a little bit of fear, you take refuge. I take refuge so that I will not be suffering. Something like that, I will not be sick. I take refuge so that I will be happy. That actually means literally you are like if you go deep into the secret kind of door of that person, if you don't do the refuge, then I'm going to sick. If I don't take refuge, then my business will be not success. Even though you don't say that, you will feel that. That's the reason you are doing it. Or maybe you're thinking about next life. Okay, but that also doesn't take you to that far. Sorry to say, but Next life. Okay, you think, okay, next life I don't want to be reborn as a dog, as a snake, as a bird. No, I don't want to. I want to be reborn as a nice a human being, and rich and handsome and beautiful, and this and that. I don't know, whatever, So therefore I'm taking refuge. Is it wrong or right? I mean, to me or to from the true different, I mean the true Buddhist theory or Buddhist philosophy, it is wrong if you think like that. But of course, from the point of view of human level, from the lay perspective, of course, nothing wrong. Nothing wrong. You can do it. You can do whatever you want. You take refuge for what? Doesn't matter. But from the point of view of the true Buddhist philosophy, this is wrong. You have to appreciate it. Very much you have to appreciate. You have to appreciate. Appreciation is a very beautiful, you appreciate. Generally, we as a human being, we think like we are the boss. We are the great. Like I'm the great, I can do anything like this. I'm tall, I'm big, I'm powerful, I'm rich, I am so and so. But it's nothing wrong with thinking like that. But rather than that, you have to understand, you have to appreciate your mom. You have to appreciate your father. You have to appreciate, how you brought up, who brought up you, who brought you up, for example, who fed you. When you are this big, you cannot go and cook food. You cannot do anything. The only thing you can do is cry. That's it. You can't do anything. And that time, who feed you? Mom fed you. Father fed you. I don't know, sister fed you. Uncle fed you. Auntie fed you. I don't know, whoever. Whoever. So you have to appreciate it. And come down. Humble down. Let's put it like that. Humble down and appreciate. So that is the thing. And that is the way you make yourself good man, good boy, good girl. Because appreciation itself makes you feel so good. Not only that, you feel so good about the world. That is the thing. Even if you are so angry, but if you could manage to apply the appreciation, that is the great antidote towards the anger. Like a great sort of like a kind of, let's say, method to kill the anger. You will be like a very calm. You'll be very nice person. Right now we are very arrogant. Mostly we are very arrogant. And sometimes we are getting angry. Sometimes we get jealous. Some get whatever, pride and all these things. All of these difficult, afflictive emotions, difficult in the sense, difficult for me, but not only for me, but difficult for my wife, difficult for my student, my children, difficult to my husband, to be with, to be together. You have a lot of problem because I'm being arrogant. So the whole family feels a little uncomfortable because you're so arrogant. So the arrogance comes from where? Comes from not having appreciation, not having appreciating. I don't want to bow down. I don't want to sort of like, I don't want to know anything that is kind to me. I don't see any kindness in this world. So this is the reason I'm the person who's kind to me. I have to be doing. I'm doing my best. I'm doing the best. I'm doing the best. I'm the one. No one is, I mean, to me, I don't see anyone or anything is kind to me. I don't see. So that is what we call, Buddhist terminology, we call it ignorant. That is the ignorant. People think, some people they think ignorant means like a dark, very dark. Ignorant is like this hole. I think this hole doesn't have a window, no? So you can turn off the light, then that's it. Oh, now ignorant. Nothing. I can't say anything. It's not. Ignorant can be, ignorant it can be formed in a form of a very light, very, very bright, very smart. Ignorant can be very smart also. I mean, the mundanely very smart. Yet he or she is very ignorant. Ignorant is not necessarily a dark, dull, dumb, not like that. Or it's like stupid, that sort of thing, stupid, crazy kind of thing. No, it's not like that. Ignorant can come in the form of very bright, very nice, very smart, very educated, very brilliant, intelligent, and etc. The ignorant is really like a great, how do you say, it has a lot of sense of fooling you, It can fool you, very much so. That's the reason we always feel ourselves like, I'm very educated. I'm very educated. I know everything. I know almost everything. I know much better than you guys, that sort of thing, I spent so many years learning, studying, and I got, number one degree, number one graduation, that sort of thing, I am the best. I know everything. I know 18 different languages, 19 different languages, 20 different languages. Who can beat me? No problem, So no one can tell me that you are ignorant. I'm not ignorant. What are you talking about? I'm not ignorant. Lay people, lay way of thinking. We think like that. But actually, the majority, I wouldn't say all of us, because it's going to be, maybe it's going to be lying, I don't want to be lying. So all of us cannot be ignorant, but majority of us are very ignorant because we think we are somebody. We think we know this. We think actually we don't know. Why? Because we don't know how to appreciate. That's all. That is the first thing we don't know. That is the first kind of failure, if you would like to say. You can call it failure. So, in this respect, like a Buddha, Dharma and Sangha, you bow down, You bow down, prostrate, and stand up, and fold it. Is a tradition. It's good, but religious tradition, which, of course, which can be a very supportive to grow the appreciation. That's the reason why we introduce to fold the hand. We introduce to prostrate to the statue of Buddha, to the books of the teaching, and to the group of Sangha in front of them. You go and prostrate, so that you will be encouraged the appreciation. So bottom line is the appreciation. But even if you don't do this prostration and all these things, appreciation, if the appreciation comes genuinely in your mind, that's it. That's all about. You have to have it. If you don't have that sense of appreciation, how many times of prostration you do, it's meaningless. It's good for body though, Yeah, you have a big stomach. Prostration, you do 100,000 prostration, you have flat tummy. Handsome. good looking, no stomach. No, then you have a little bit of like a high blood pressure. The blood pressure goes very much in level. That's very good. Good for health, But good for mind? I don't know. Maybe it's good for mind also, because the body and the spirit goes hand in hand. So maybe the mind also will be like more clear, more bright, more sort of relaxed. Yeah. I have no doubt about it, definitely. But appreciation is there? That cannot be. I don't think so. Maybe not there, because you don't know what is the appreciation. You're not developing it. So the appreciation has to come from that, very much so. Appreciate Buddha, for example. Appreciate Buddha. The Buddha has been working like for eons and countless of eons, working so hard for all of us. And eventually he became Buddha for us. And then he gave teaching for us. So the teachings are there. So now there is a chance, because of him, we have a chance to sort of like transform us into the Bodhisattva path, into the path of the enlightenment. So so that's the reason we have to appreciate. So this is the way you take refuge. You appreciate. So this is the reason, and that sort of notion needs to be coming into your private life, day-to-day life. You have to appreciate. If you don't appreciate, if you don't manage to sort of develop the sense of appreciation, you have no way to live harmoniously in your home. You have a family, you wouldn't be able to live nicely because you don't appreciate your wife. Your wife doesn't appreciate what you're doing. You don't appreciate each other. So of course, difficult already, very difficult. So therefore, this is exactly what's happening with the couples. With the money they're spending, I spend lots of money, but my wife doesn't spend any money. How come? So there's a conflict, So one day you will even dare to talk like this to your wife, and then your wife will be feeling very bitter, very bad. It's the same thing with the wife also. I'm doing everything. I'm cleaning, I'm cooking, I'm looking after the children and all these things. He's not doing anything. How come? So again, there's a problem. That there's only my doing, but you're not seeing what he did to, what she did to me. She's working very hard, but you have to appreciate what she's doing. So the appreciation makes you feel very good about your couple, about your home, about your life. So then the home affairs in a home will be automatically sort of looked after very nicely because of the appreciation. If not, then you'll be always angry each other, definitely. Even though somehow you manage to stay together, you manage to keep the family together, it's very good. But you are angry, constantly you are angry, because you're not so happy what you are doing. You're not happy with what he's doing. She's not happy with what you're doing, and there's a battle all the time. So that's the reason why, from a very small matter like a home, family affairs, to the enlightenment, big enlightenment, always needs to be a sense of appreciation. Okay, so that's good enough to start with. And now refuge, Buddha, Dharma and Sangha, we have to take refuge. Refuge actually means Buddha, Dharma and Sangha, we are, how do you say, we want to sort of be looked after by them. That's the thing. Looked after means looked after means you, in a way you can say looked after, but in another way you want to say that I am going to follow the path of the appreciation. This is the thing. I am going to follow the path of appreciation from today on because I understood. It's because I understood. That's the thing. Very important. That corner is a very important. Because I understood. Okay? Not because somebody told you to do it. No. It's I am going to follow the path of the Buddha, Dharma and Sangha because now I understood. Understood what? Appreciation. So now from now on I'm going to appreciate my bread. You know? Bread is Buddha. Okay? Having it is the Dharma. You know? And then how do you say, you're yourself turning yourself into a person who is appreciating is the Sangha, yourself. So it's the bread and the having it and then yourself. The Buddha, Dharma and Sangha, having in your life, yourself. That is something eventual, or what do you call that? Eventualized. Eventually you have to understand that way. That is the thing. Day-to-day life. Refuge needs to be brought down into your life. Otherwise, what is the refuge? Refuge is somewhere flying there. And your life is as messy as we are, as usual. Then what's the point? Refuge needs to be brought down into the day-to-day life. That is what the effect of the appreciation. What is the effect of the refuge? That is the thing. Otherwise, you're just looking at the refuge only. Such a great master like a Buddha. Yes, but so what? This is what I'm saying. So what? Yes, he's a great master, but he's dead already. Oh, so what? Many thousand years ago, he's gone already. He's a great, yes, okay, but so what? I mean, that's it, no? And yes, great teaching, yes, very great teaching, very good. Dharma is great, but so what? You don't manage to bring it down into your life. So what? Yes, okay. You just put it up in the roof ceiling. That's it. Then just leave it there. That's it. And Sangha also, there are a group of people who you feel very, how do you say, envy, That's it. Well, they are doing maybe good, but for you, nothing comes. No effect. Nothing. So what? So that is the thing. You have to bring it into your breakfast. Bring it into your lunch. Bring it into your day-to-day life. Office. And your emotion, your family matters, family affairs. You have to bring it down, and then apply. It's implement it. You have to implement these into these three ratnas into our practices, especially into this Dharma needs to be implemented into our practices, our day-to-day practices, not just in the form of mantra. Not just in the form of mindfulnesses or the meditation or Mahamudra or Terma or any kind of thing. No, not only that. Of course, these are practices also, but the part of practice. But mainly it has to come into your day-to-day life. The most important way of doing so is appreciation. You have to start to appreciate. So then you start to make your life better, start to be better. It will start to be better. It will make you feel make your life make better, start to make better or something. So this is the initiation, if you like. Okay. So all of you have this, I guess. Oh no. Okay. You have it. Okay, good. Okay, then we might as well go from the page number 6. Om Nasinam Daraj Lundupe Tashin Choju Shinai Shubai Sange Chedan Gendun Pabezo Gula Chantse Daja Trashisho Deme Gerbo Zalten Tundugo Chambe Gembe Getra Paltamba Gula Gomba Gyachere Trapaja Lumbu Tarpa Cetrapatani Semjen Tamje Lagon Trapebe Yitsimun Zepa Zera Trapade Tenzam Tebe Trashi Palpeva Devara Shepa Gela Chansano Jamba Shano Paldem Dorje Chenre Ziwa Gonbo Jame Sayin Jiba Nambaz Nam Genyimbo Kundoza Ipe Torje Pekaralo Shinda Norbudawa Raltini Mai Chanzelena Tashi Palgejo Chanju Semba Mai Chanzelo Enjen Dojo Tashi Segenya Denjum Bomza Ioi Kamala Nyendra Donda Punzo Palpeo Minu Jalza Wangyurun Korolode Rinjen Tajo Yegi Chaja Chodi Gyalwa Chejien Yegema Gesongo Tembe Papel Tashi Lamo Yela Chansano Hama Chembo Denjun Se Mebo Miton Denda Gyalpoye Paje Poda Lo Amimeza Nam Tu Sete Laze Konoda Tishu Lata dong dong do je je pe wa ra de cho den ja sa sum ne so gele ta shi be ji den jo wa ge la chan no ha ja den de cha wa zom ba ge da nye wa che wa kun shi de pa be sam de ye da shi de le puzum so ba jo. Refuge prayer starts from page number 29. Now, say it in Spanish, maybe first, 3 times. Sangye Jeda Tsogi Chonam La Chanjo Barado Dani Jazunje Dagi Jinzo Gebe Sonam Gi Dola Panjira Sangye Dobasho. Let me say a little bit about these things, these 4 sentences. You know, the Buddha, Dharma and Sangha, are the, you want to take refuge, not only just for this life, but till enlightenment, till the final enlightenment. That's the thing, till the final enlightenment. We Buddhists believe life, many lives to come. Okay? The other religion, they don't believe. I mean, the many religion, they do believe, but many of them, they don't. That's they just a different religion, different belief. Different people has different way of believing their life. So similarly, that the religion has a different way of saying it. So Buddhists, we do believe in lives to come. But in Theravadan taking refuge, Theravadan way of taking refuge is till death, not till the enlightenment, till death. But in the Mahayana way of taking refuge is till the enlightenment, till the final enlightenment. Okay? Now, what is the different? There is nothing much different in this. But true, I mean the a small difference, if you like, is the in effect in the bodhicitta or the bodhisattva has a kind of, let's say, bigger version of understanding, bigger version of embracing the others. The bodhicitta, the bodhisattva way of thinking is that, we cannot think of this life, and many lives has to be included. Many people should be included, and we should not be sort of like limit ourselves. So this is the thing that Bodhisattva think like that. So Bodhisattva way of thinking is, since Bodhisattva way of thinking is greater, bigger, sort of like a way of embracing people. So then they say the bodhicitta, Bodhisattva way of taking refuge is till the final enlightenment. So that's the only difference. Theravadan way of doing is in the still enlightenment, till this life. Because the Theravadan way of practicing is, yes, they have a compassion, they have loving, great, the loving sense, but their practice, the Theravadan practice is very much centralized to develop one's own good, one's own path. So one's own path needs to be nourished, and one's own path needs to be practiced, and one's own sort of result will be achieved. So this is very much like one's own sort of thing. I have to take care of myself. Though I love everybody, I love all of you, though I love every sentient beings, but the essential thing is I have to take care of myself. This is Theravadan way of doing it. This is the kind of a Vinaya. We call it in Tibetan Sosoro Tarba, Soso Tarba. It's one's own liberation needs to be created by one's own effort, one's own Vinaya, one's own sort of vows and precepts. So that is the thing. That's the different anyway. Through the if you like to know, if you want to know what is the difference between the Theravadan and the Mahayana, that's the kind of different. The concept is a little different. One's own liberation is very much centralized. Whereas in a Vajrayana, as well as of course Mahayana, one's own liberation is not very centralized. Centralized issue is to liberate all sentient beings. All others has to be liberated. You have to embrace everybody. So you have to, if you say I want to embrace everybody in one life, within this life I will do it. Next life I don't know. Then this means you're not really doing complete kind of practice of Mahayana. So if you want to complete, if you want to really accomplish practice of the Mahayana, then you have to embrace every sentient beings, including your enemy, and also you have to sort of like dedicate your effort until the enlightenment. So that is the difference. So that will come automatically. Again, it's not have to. Again, going back to the first talk that I gave this morning, not obligated. Not obligated. It's all depends on understanding. You have to understand how the things going on, how really things should be going on, and how should I be practicing. That needs to be understood. Only after that, you will go ahead with your practice. If you think Theravadan is good, do Theravadan way. If you do understand Mahayana very well, Mahayana way of doing it is good. Understanding needs to be the leader, and the understanding needs to be the Buddha. The Buddha is the understanding actually. We call it Tamje Kemba. Tamje Kemba. It means the all-knowing. you know. But commonly we refers to a particular Buddha. You say Tamje Khenpa. Literally we think, oh, we are talking about Buddha Shakyamuni. Tamje Khenpa is kind of a person standing there with a saffron robe. But that's again little bit religious kind of way of thinking. Little we are going out of track. Of course, it's okay. It's okay if you refer Tamje Khenpa, the omniscient one. When you say omniscient one, oh, that is the Buddha Shakyamuni, which is there in my shrine. Okay, very good, nothing wrong. But if you stuck with that, again, ruining yourself. You don't want to stuck with that. It has to be able to draw down into your life. You want to be Tamje Khenpa. You want to be the one who's the omniscient one. You want to. You want to. You have to do it. So of course, again, I'm going back to the topic, to get back to the original topic that I was talking about just a while ago. So this is the thing. You have to understand. You have to know. First, you have to know what is the importance of the refuge and the bodhicitta. Okay? So that's the reason I'm talking right now. So that is not something that you have to do it, but you have to understand first and then you do it. So anyway, so that's all that you know, that the understanding is all about actually. So okay, so this is the Mahayana way of taking refuge. This particular practice. This is a Mahayana way. Somebody says this is written by the what do you call that? By what is his name? Anyway, it doesn't matter who wrote. Doesn't matter. And somebody says there's a lot of different things. This is not many people know who wrote this, but it's a very common thing. We practice this. So, and that says, I take refuge until I'm enlightened. That is the Mahayana way of saying that. Okay? And then now they say, by the merit of generosity and other performances of the bodhicitta practices, may I attain the Buddhahood for the benefit of all sentient beings. So, by the merit of generosity and other perfection kind of paramita, this actually means the bodhicitta way of doing it. And again, we have to understand how important to be generosity, to practice generosity. How important to be morality, ethical. How important to be, how do you say, one-pointed mind and diligent into practice. How important to be, how do you say, tolerant. This is a paramita. You know, we have a 6 paramita, 7 paramita. Excuse me, I have a little bit like a knee problem these days. So, as the thing, paramitas are different paramitas. So all the paramitas, of course, namingly there's a 6 or 10, but there are lots and lots of different paramitas, of course. So all the paramitas, whatever there's to be done, needs to be appreciated first. What is importance of it? For instance, generosity. Like when we talk about generosity, we talk of generosity. The generosity, when you talk about generosity, it's yes, generosity is practiced by many religions. Actually, I was told, but from the point of view of bodhicitta, bodhisattva vow, or bodhisattva practices, the generosity is, the essence of the generosity is to let go of. That is the thing. Not only just a going, and not only just a giving. Not only just a giving. You know, giving is also the one thing, but let go of is the one thing. Commonly speaking, the generosity is that people need this. Like people need clothing, I'm going to give this clothing to him because he needs it. That is the common way of looking at the generosity. But uncommon way of looking at the generosity is that you want to, how do you say, you want to liberate yourself from the attachment with the clothing, for example. And this property what you have gives you tremendous problem. For example, like you have 100 different sets of shoes inside. You have only 2 pairs of legs, you know? But you have lots of shoes. All are you attached to. All of them are very expensive shoes. You have to keep them. You have to. I mean, you are obliged to keep them. You don't know where to throw. You don't know. You don't want to throw. You don't want to give anybody. It's very expensive. But then it consumes a lot of area in your room. Your room is not big enough. Sorry. For so many shoes. But what to do? It's painful, you know. And then it's get molded, you know, because of the humidity weathers. So shoes gets molded, you know. So it's not very nice to see that. And you have to really look after the shoes very much. You have to take a lot of time to look after the shoes. Just look after the shoes. Looking after the shoes itself is a great job. It's a great amount of time you have to spend. That sort of thing, you know. I'm just giving an example. And the jacket, and the trousers, and the belt, and the socks. Anyway, whatever. It's a pleasure, but pain. So all these, what I'm trying to say is that, you know, the attachment, then you want to liberate yourself. That is the main point, uncommonly speaking. Commonly it's okay, like the same thing, the same other religion, they say, okay, the people, homeless people, they have no home, so you have to give a shelter. You know, jobless people, they have no job, you should give a job. And also the people who has no shoes, then you have to give a shoes. As simple as that. That's also, it's okay. But in an uncommon way of looking at it, it's on top of that, we should really be how to liberate yourself. And also we should really see the path of the generosity is the means to liberate yourself from the miserlessness. You know? And you know, that also you have to understand how painful that is. If you do not understand that, please don't do generosity. Don't do practice generosity. First you have to understand how important that is. Then you do it. You feel so good to do it. You know? But before you have to understand how important to liberate yourself from a pain. So first you don't have to give all the shoes away. Just one shoes and see what happens. You know? Then you know, experientially you will understand. There is two steps of understanding, 2 manifestations, you know, 2 sort of like categories of understanding. One is intellectual knowledge, intellectual understanding. The other one is experiential understanding. Intellectual understanding is very important also, that has to be cultivated after teaching. After this right very moment you have to cultivate. That is understanding, that has to be understood. You got a little bit of understanding already. So that needs to be cultivated in your head. So that is intellectual. I would call it intellectual. But then this doesn't mean This doesn't mean the experiential. So experiential will be coming only after you do it. So if you have to do it slowly, small one, just give a small one, just to give a most cheapest shoes you have. Little molded also, little molded, a little old, you know, you give away. And the 2 and the 3, you give away a little bit. And then see how you feel. And then you don't feel anything good, don't give. You know, don't give. Give it a stop, you know, just to give it a stop. And then again cultivate. This is what we call practice. You do practice. You definitely, if you understand very well, then I'm telling you, it's such a great joy to practice generosity. It is one of the greatest joyful practice. This is my own experience also. Not that I give a lot, but when I manage to give something, I feel so great. Sometimes I feel a little bit of like a pride also, but it should not be a pride. It is like a genuine, joyful sort of feeling. And that genuine, joyful feeling brings more effort, more wanting. This is what we call not only the generosity, but which one? Third paramita, I think. Jimba Tsutim Soba Tsundu. Fourth one. The Tsundu, the fourth one. Tsundu is actually the joyful effort. Really the effort comes joyfully. You want to give everything joyfully. You know, you really will be very happy, joyfully. So you just give money to charity, you give food to the people, you give whatever. You give teachings, you give suggestion, you give medicine, you give happiness. Whatever the thing that you are giving, you just give it very joyfully. Joyful effort, the practice of generosity along with the joyful effort gives you not only just a great joy, but it also, how do you say, takes the, how do you say, expectation away from you. You will not be expecting anything out of that generosity. You will not expect anything. That itself is a great joy. That's it. I'm happy. Don't give me anything. I'm not expecting anything. Not even a smile, not even an acknowledgement, nothing. I'm so happy, fully happy. That itself is a good enough, more than enough. So you don't need anything. Whereas right now, if we give us something, we will be, there's no natural, kind of almost natural, that you'll be expecting something return. Maybe not in this day, this particular day, but maybe next day, maybe next week, maybe a couple of years later, I'll be expecting you'll be giving me something. If not, then I'll be very disappointed, very depressed, very disappointed, very angry. Especially, at least I would be angry at that particular person that I gave. A couple of years ago, I gave a sock, very smelly socks, but it was very needed, very much needed. It was freezing, so I gave a socks. But now he's not recognizing me. It's very, very bad, So I'll be very angry. He should be smiling at me, at least, He didn't smile. He didn't even recognize me. Very bad, So I will be very upset. So this actually is not, what do you call that? Accomplished practice of the bodhicitta. The accomplished practice is like the joyful. It's a joy that really fills you up fully. So that is the generosity. Okay? So generosity is a little different from the common generosity. if you like to understand detail. Otherwise, the many people, I used to get lots of questions from the people that, oh, you were talking about the importance of the generosity. But we always do that. So and so and so religion doing it, so and so movement, like I don't know, whatever the firms that they have, they're spending millions of dollars per year for the charitable purpose and all these things. What is the difference? What is this and that? They wanted to know. And my master always, their church is always say that this temple says that, this monastery say that, the same thing. What is the difference? The difference, if you like to know in a little bit elaborated way, then this is the difference. Common way of what do you call the generosity, and also uncommon means the bodhicitta, bodhisattva way of the generosity. It's a little different. It is the same thing. Ethical practices is also. All the religion has the ethical part of the practice, and all these things are quite similar. Similarities there. Anyway, don't do this, don't do that, do this. Heaps of don't do and do, and there are lots of do and don't do. Sometimes I feel very tired of don't and do. These two are very difficult. But it's something that if we do understand, then we are very happy to do it, to follow it. If you don't understand, I was literally, to tell you truth, when I was young, I don't understand. When I was young means like when I was a teenager, or I don't know. I don't understand about the ethical very much, I guess. So I feel kind of I feel not very happy. Not very happy with the morality, the morality, what they say, like what we say, don't do this, don't eat this, don't drink this, don't say this, blah, 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 Why? Why not? Why can't I say that? Why can't I say that? And those days, if I have a great master who says, okay, if you say, why can't I say that? Why can't I do this? If you say that, the master should come say, okay, my friend, you can't do this because so and so and so and so. Then I would definitely be enlightened, But there was hardly anybody. I'm not complaining my guru or my masters or my teacher. They don't say that. But they just say, don't do it. That's it. Boom, dominating. They are very dominative. They say, don't do it. Then otherwise, stick. A stick comes. I don't like it. But obliged to follow the ethics. That's not good. But you have to understand why you don't do it. Why you can't drink alcohol, for example. Some religion, they allow you to drink alcohol. In our religion, for example, in our Buddhist tradition or Buddhist sort of teaching, according to the Buddhist teaching, you cannot allow to. You cannot allow yourself to drink the alcohol. So why? Why you cannot allow yourself to drink the alcohol? Because you drink alcohol, you simply, very simple, you get out of your track. And then you can't really think about anything else. And then you get addicted, and then you get worse and worse. That is the main reason why you cannot drink. You will be intoxicant. You will be like a little bit mad, crazy. So that's the kind of thing. And it is very sort of like understandable, and you have to understand that. So ethical, I wouldn't go very much deep into the ethical practices, because there's a lot of different way of saying. By any kind of ethical anyway, you have to understand. A very, very small thing, like people Just a couple of weeks ago, somebody, I was in Hong Kong, then they said, why, they said, why you have to shave, you know? And you know, this is also one of the ethic that they say, oh, we have to shave. Hindu also have to shave, some of the Hindu. And so in Buddhist, the bhikshu and bhikshunis, they have to shave. And why you have to shave? You know, if you do not know, then why you have to shave? I don't want to shave. What's the point of shaving? You know? So that again, it's like a, and then you have to oblige. You know, you have to be like yourself saying that you have to shave because you are tradition, you are following the Buddhist Vinaya, so you have to shave. But that's not good. You're just fooling you're putting yourself into a very hardship. So now you have to understand, you know, because the shaving, you have to understand to shave, then it's no headache of shampooing. You can throw the shampoo, you know. You know, I need a shampoo. You know? You don't need a comb, you know. You need a three different combs, you know. Usually, 3 different combs, you know, like a big one, smallest one, very nice one, you know, that has a little drop on it, you know, the little bump on it. It's a very nice, you know. There's a lot of different, maybe 4 or 5 different combs you have to carry in your bag. No, you don't have to worry about it. Just throw it away. Just to shave, that's it. Shave maybe once in 3 days, once in 7 days, that's it. So nothing is, there's less headache. That itself means a liberation, great liberation. Itself is a great liberation. No, I don't know, but you know, I would say that. But I'm not saying this because I'm shaved. No. You know, but you know, these kind of things needs to be thought. It's really important to have intellectual knowledge about these things, you know. Just not only just following blindly. Chinese, the Mao Zedong said it's a faith, or the devotion is a blind faith, he said. But I don't know whether that is necessarily a blind faith or not. But you know, many of us are really, I mean, as he said, it's like we are like a blind faith. We don't want to know, we don't know anything, we just follow. Somebody said you have to shave, okay, from today on you have to shave. Okay, sir, shave. Why? I don't know, but he said, don't ask me. He said I should shave, so I'm shaving. Very good, very obeying, very, very obeying. He's a very good boy. He's a very good boy, he's a very good girl. I mean, you know, very obedient towards his or her master. Very good. Master told him to shave, he shaved. Very good. But he has no deep knowledge about what he's doing, you know. So one day, sooner or later, he will also be saying, what I have been doing, what the hell I did so far, so many years I've been cutting my hair. Why should I be doing that? I think I should have a hair. Why not? So then he will be going against to the teaching of the Buddha or the Vinaya, and he will be even disrobing or whatever, you know, and go against, because he didn't start through the understanding. The level, the basic, I don't know, the foundation wasn't built very nicely. So the devotion or whatever, it is very shallow. So that was maybe like looking like a blind faith, blind sort of like a devotion or blind devotion, blind faith, or blindly you just because you trust this man who told you, or you trust in means like you like him or whatever, and what he said is very melody, you know, so you follow. But that's not good enough. You have to understand. So this shaving itself tells you a lot. If you don't shave, you have a lot of things to do. You know, not only the women now, the men also. They spend how many times, how long to make themselves handsome looking. Yeah, they have to. They spend in front of glass, the mirror. They spend quite a bit of time. When I was young, not many men are like that, I think. But now men are also becoming like a woman. They spend doing these things, you know. And now the shop, you can go to this kind of shop. You have a lot of things you can buy for men also. Perfume, men makeup, lots of things. So anyway, this is not, I'm telling you this, why? Because you think like a woman, we have, in my audience, I think most of you are a woman. So women will be thinking like, he's talking bad about women, but not. I'm not talking about bad about women or bad about men. It's equal, you know. We spend a lot of time making up and hair, making all this. So it's a liberation, you know, liberation. It's just a sort of liberation, liberating from the headache, from one set of headache. So you have a one less headache. So that is the purpose of doing that, you know. So shaving, but we don't have to shave, you know. Like other lay people should not, does not need to be shaved. But then the bhikshu and bhikshunis need to be shaved. Why? Because of this, because of the same reason. So that is the thing, and it's all of them has a very good reason why we have to do that. So ethical, miracle, the morality definitely needs to understood. So it's like not only the moralities practice or the practice of generosity, but all the practices, like all the parameters, all the practices need to do it with the understanding, with the full understanding. So this is the thing. So generally speaking, you know, if you do not want it to go through one after the other, one by one specifically, generally what you have to understand is all bodhicitta practices, bodhisattva practices, Theravadan practices, Bhikshu, Bhikshunis, and all these practices are, the Buddhist practices are very much linked with the liberation. Liberating yourself from a headache, from the problem. So that is the thing. We don't want to be caught up with the problem. We want to liberate ourselves from the problem, from any type of problem. The small problem, very big, huge problem, all needs to be liberated. And each liberation has enlightenment. So this is the reason why my book says everyday enlightenment. Every day when we need to, we need to develop some understanding and then develop some sense of liberation. And then the liberation, each liberation gives you the enlightenment. The final enlightenment is Buddhahood. According to the Buddhist doctrine, final enlightenment is the Buddhahood. But that, you don't have to go all the way there. You just think about everyday enlightenment, everyday understanding, everyday liberation needs to be practiced, needs to be observed. So that's the thing. See, the final thing is, of course, Ndrola Panchir means the may I attain the Buddhahood for the benefit of all sentient beings. Now the Buddhahood is a, you can, just now I said it's a Buddhahood is the final destination. But also relatively speaking, Buddhahood can be every day. Every day there should be a Buddha. They should be practicing appreciation, as I mentioned. The bread, you know, the bakery, the bread, breakfast, enjoying, whatever. All these things are really very much the Buddha, Dharma and Sangha. You have to understand that. So, may I attain the Buddhahood actually means may I understand, may I, you know, may I be aware of, you know, entire sort of like a phenomena, entire practice as a Buddha Dharma. And attain the Buddhahood, means understanding, understand, for the benefit of all sentient beings. For the benefit of all sentient beings means, again, there's a again understanding need to be developed. Not only just benefiting others, it's a bullshitting also, because you can't benefit yourself, how can you benefit others? It's impossible. You don't love your mother, you don't love your father, you don't love your children, or how can you love all sentient beings? Impossible. You know? They're bullshitting. This is what I'm saying. It's just like really a bullshit. Really is a bullshit. Now now what you do? You have to understand again. Understanding needs to be developed. Why we are saying that the Buddhahood needs to be attained for the benefit of all sentient beings? Why? It's again why. So there should be an answer. You keep on bullshitting, that's not right. You know, that's not right. Because you are fooling yourself. You are fooling yourself. You are just like, okay, let's go. Let's just go ahead. It's not right. If you bullshit in the bodhicitta practice, then the Vajrayana practice will be even more bullshitting. You know, like entire Mahayana Vajrayana practice is nothing but bullshitting. That's it. Really, it's just nothing. You don't want to be bullshitting yourself, fooling yourself in the Mahayana practice. Mahayana practice needs to be done very nicely, very completely, like accomplished way. So therefore one has to think, why is it so important? Why is it so important? Why is it that it's so important to say that the benefit of all sentient beings? Why? So you have to understand why you have to be doing that. And it's a very simple answer for that. Others are very important, more important than you actually. There are many reasons, but there are two reasons why others are more important than you. One reason, one common reason is that others are more number, majority, and the minority is very common. If you vote, you get an election from one guy, finished. You're not doing good. The majority vote needs to be there. Otherwise, it's very much like a, what you call that? It's very practical and it's understandable. Majority of others are majority. You are only one guy. You shouldn't be so selfish for that reason. So many people are suffering. So many beings are suffering out there. Yes, you are also suffering, but you should be second, the second issue, second priority. The first priority needs to be others because of the number. That's very, very understandable. That is the common sense. And then the uncommon sense, or the bodhicitta, bodhisattva way of thinking is that, the bodhicitta skillful way of thinking is that if you do look after others, and if you manage to make other people happy, you will be happy. They will make you happy. For example, if you fail to make your wife happy, you will definitely be very much bothered, because she will be always there to nag on you. So if you are a smart guy, first thing is you have to make her happy, so that she'll shut up. No? Sorry, but because she'll be happy. Not just because you're dominating, I am the man, you are a woman, okay, you shut up. No, you can't say that. That won't work. But you have to make her happy, make her full, sort of like fulfilled his wish, her wish, fulfilled her wish and her whatever her desire. Because you are there, you are here, you are her husband. After all, come on, you know. So that's your responsibility to make her happy. So you have to do that. And the result is that you will be happy. Because she'll make you happy. At least she will not nag you. You know? That's a great change. It's a great achievement. No? Great enlightenment. No? It's a great achievement, I would say. No? Yeah. It's a very painful. If your wife is always nagging on you every day, every night, you know, it's a very painful. Same thing with your husband, you know. Same. Your husband should be should not be nagging on you. She should not be always long face. You know, so you have to make him happy. So others are important, no? Other important to make entire happy. Others are happy. Whereas right now we think the other way around. We think I have to make happy. I am the one who should be making myself happy. Then you always what we call, it's a selfish, you know, but it's a very stupid also. Selfishness is okay, but the stupid selfishness, you know, stupid selfishness, it's a very bad. Selfishness, yeah, okay, you're making, I'm making my wife happy in order me to be happy. So selfishness, it is selfish, but very smart selfishness. You know, smart selfishness, that's it, smart. One needs to be smart, not to be stupid. We don't want to be stupid, you know. So that's the thing. So I wouldn't say selfishness is that bad. It's bad, but it's not that bad. But stupid selfishness is even worse then. So therefore, you know, others are very important. You know, in order to make yourself happy. If you want to be happy, the others are very important. For example, you have such a great house, okay? Great house, great car to drive, great family, let's say like a wife or children or something. You have such a castle, big castle, in the middle of nowhere. Everybody is sleeping on the road, sleeping on the street. Everybody is walking, everybody is crying. Everybody is painful, you know, everybody. None of them has a house, none of them have a shelter. But you have in the middle of this nowhere, you have such a big castle, and enjoy, sort of look like very much enjoying. Will you be enjoying? You will not, because everybody is crying, millions of people crying, and they will also beat you up, you know. They will burn your castle. You know, your castle will not be lasting more than a day or two. You know, they will burn your castle down. They will beat you up. They will kill you maybe, you know. So you will not be enjoying it. So that is kind of, you know, that is kind of an example you have to understand. We think like that, you know. We have to have a castle. We have to have a nice thing. I don't care about others, but you have to take care of others. There is no choice, almost. Why? Because they are the one who will give you the happiness. You know, they are the ones. So you have to create that atmosphere so that you will be happy. So anyway, I shouldn't take much of your time to talk this kind of thing. Very deep and very profound. And also I will be like talking again and again and again, repeatedly. Anyway, that's a very important thing. That's the reason why we are always talking about benefit of all beings. The common people, they put questions. They say, why you have to be taking care of others? Who will take care of me then? I'm taking care of you guys, but who will take care of me? According to the bodhicitta, you don't take care of yourself. You shouldn't, because you shouldn't be selfish. You shouldn't be taking care of yourself. You should go out and take care of others. So this means, who is going to take care of me then? You know, people ask questions. Everybody will take care of you. That's the answer. Everybody will take care of you, directly or indirectly, because the happiness is the essence of the what do you call that? Essence of the taking care of yourself. I mean, that's the thing. That is the result of, that's the principle of everything that you are looking for. So that is the thing that you will get it from the people. People will be looking after you, the one way or another. So that is a very simple answer. Okay, so let's do this in 3 times. I think I did 1 already. Now you do the 2 thing. Sangye chedang tsogin chonam la chanjum paradu dani jazunje dagi jinso jebe sanam Dola banjir sange dubajo sange chudan sogi chonam la chanju paradu dani jazuje Dagi jinso jebe sanamji dola panjir sanje dubajo. Four immeasurable thoughts. Do it in a Mexican. So maybe it's a time for break, I think, but I wanted to go through all these four immeasurable thoughts also a little bit, because understanding is much more important, you know. And but maybe what I would do is that I'll give you some time to ask questions. QA. So do we have a microphone, or you can shout? Because it's more fresh. If I give you every session I give you a little QA time, it's going to be a little fresh. Because otherwise we have a tendency to sort of forget and then go back home. And then that's it again, you know. We'll be like Same thing. You know, because the purpose of this meeting, purpose of this kind of, let's say, gathering, needs to have a refreshment. Maybe you have already refreshed, but maybe many years ago, maybe 7 years ago, or maybe you don't like that. So now you have to refresh it. So refreshment needs to really be done time to time, let's say freshly. Then before forgetting all these things. So that's the reason I want to give you a time of QA for for this time, and then just this will we may have just 5 minutes. Then we will have a break. Then we come back and then we'll talk about the 4 immeasurable thoughts. Spanish will be better. Then I'll put on this.
Las preguntas, por favor, en español, y el traductor se las va a traducir en inglés, por favor. Gracias.
Maestro, yo me siento a veces un poco estúpida porque veo por los demás y siento que no logro yo una satisfacción. Puede ser una falta de apreciación, pero a veces el dolor humano es muy grande y el dolor que en mí produce también.
Somehow many of Western Buddhist followers, they feel that, and I think they are they feel that the human sufferings and whatever the sufferings are so huge for them, and they feel pain. That is good, but then they sort of like they have no solution. And then sometimes they feel pain, and then they get angry. As a result, they just get angry, and then they feel very desperate, and they feel like useless. They feel themselves very useless, and then they get angry, and then that's it. But actually, to my understanding, what we really need to do is that we should, how do you say, we should do it from very like gradually, with a very big heart. The heart needs to be extended. Bodhicitta, bodhi is an enlightenment or whatever, it's a big thing, huge thing, And chitta is a heart, so the heart needs to be extended. And it needs to be extended in the sense that it needs to be embracing everybody with your love and compassion, but also needs to be, how do you say, very skillful. Actually, we need some translation, no? Anyway, it doesn't matter. So this just came in my mind. So bodhicitta is not only love. This is something we have to understand. Bodhicitta is not only just taking care of others, just to go and take care of others. Bodhicitta is not just a compassion, Bodhicitta, like compassion means like bodhicitta. The person who has the bodhicitta, or who are sort of like blaming himself or herself to be a practitioner of bodhicitta, needs to be compassionate, crying, crying for others, crying, yeah, good, sympathetic, sympathy. It's a good, but that's also not a bodhicitta. Bodhicitta is a combination of everything. Bodhicitta is mainly a smartness. mainly the body, if you like, the body of the bodhicitta. The body of the bodhicitta is the smartness, actually. It's not only compassion, or it's not love, or it's not sympathetic, you know. It is very much the smartness. The structure of itself is the smart. So you have to be smart, and the smartness will take time, take you to the area where you feel very comfortable to work with the people, work with the animal, and work with everybody. And sometimes you have to be wrathful, you have to be scolding at the people, you have to be even sometimes beating people, sometimes beating animals. For example, like a dog. If you have a big dog that is not behaving very nicely, sometimes you have to behave. You have to beat them, and make them listen to yourself. And what does it mean? If you beat him, then this is going against the bodhicitta? No. Beating him with your smartness. If you don't beat him, he will bite everybody. And then everybody will be having problem, plus he will have a problem. So in order this guy, the dog, this guy not to have a problem in the rest of his life, he needs to be trained. So you have to use your stick to beat him a little bit, just to make him behave nicely. So this is, people think, the newcomers, especially the Westerners, they think, like if you do something a little bit wrathful, then they say, oh, you cannot do this. Where's your bodhicitta? Where's your bodhicitta? Bodhisattva, bodhicitta, always say like that. No. Bodhicitta can be in a form of wrathful, can be form of scolding, beating, all these things. This is what I always think like that. Even can be a army also. Army that protects your country also is a part of the bodhicitta also, can be. It's just a matter of the smartnesses. If you do have a smartness, that's it. So therefore, individually speaking, right now what I want to say is that as an answer to this question, individually what we have to do is, we have to build up the smartness. Yes, like a stupid way of doing it is that, like a very, very limiting yourself. That is a stupid way of doing it. But you have to really be opening yourself. That is really the meaning of the bodhicitta. Bodhi, citta, heart, extended heart. For example, this room is too small if you have about 2,000 people, 3,000 people. But so therefore, if you want to have 3,000 people, then you have to extend this room, or you have to go to a bigger room. So that's similarly that if you want to really work with all the sentient beings and others, then you have to really have an extended way of viewing others. So that, and also that you have to work not only just to say, okay, he's suffering, so I'm also feeling very sad because he's suffering, so I feel very sad. What you do, you sad and you break yourself down, and they're finished. You go and you bury under your blanket and cry. But that's not the solution of bodhicitta. He's suffering, so you sleep and you cry whole day. That's not right. He's suffering, now you have to understand how to get rid of his suffering. And if you cannot get rid of his suffering, you have to understand that this is his karma. So his karma is too heavy, so now how to get rid of the karma? Example is taken by him, and then you have to go out and give teachings, give encouragement, not to create any more karma, so that you'll be helping. Example is that this guy is suffering a lot, So now this is an example. So now you guys also should be behaving so that we make sure that we will not be suffering like this man. So that sort of thing. So you really work, your work will be like encouraged all the time as a bodhicitta practitioner. You will not be sort of like crying and finish it yourself and the day is spoiled. To me, that I feel that way too. Sometimes, you know, I see people, the animals suffering a lot. Then that day is very sad day for me. And then I can't do anything. I feel very sad. What I can do is I recite Om Mani Padme Hum whole day. Of course, which is good, but I can't do anything anymore. Any other thing, because I feel very sad, very sad when I see animals are suffering. When I see animals are slaughtering, because maybe in Mexico you can't see them slaughtering, because slaughtering, there's maybe a place where they're slaughtered, not in the street. But back in India, back in Nepal, you see everywhere. People are slaughtering everywhere. So when I see this, accidentally see some animals are slaughtering, cutting their necks, cutting their, chopping their head, in life. There I feel very bad, very sad. And then sad that sadness goes on for one day, at least. That is not good. That I know, it's my weakness. Actually, it is my weakness. I have to, as a bodhicitta practitioner, bodhisattva practitioner, I have to be strong. I shouldn't be that weak. I should be strong. I should be smart and strong. But I'm very weak in that sense. So that the day is spoiled anyway. So that's the reason sometimes I prefer not to go that way. When I know that there's a street that you can see a lot of bloody things, I don't want to. I try not to go there. I try to sort of like take long way to go there, to reach to some, like a cleaner street. But this is fooling myself actually. But what to do? But generally, the fact is that you have to be smart and strong. Next. Yep.
Hi, Your Holiness. Hola. ¿Cómo se dice Your Holiness en español? Hola, Su Santidad. Yo quiero preguntarte, cuando tomo una decisión, hay una parte de mí aquí adentro que sabe que está bien, pero también hay una parte de mí que lo duda. Si tomo una decisión y lo hago aún así con la duda, ¿está bien tomar esa decisión? Y ya, gracias por estar aquí y está muy chido conocerte.
Decision, yes, it's a very good question. Actually, the decision needs to be, for us, needs to be used or based on bodhicitta. Based on bodhicitta as a practitioner, as a Buddhist, and also not only Buddhist generally, but Buddhist practitioner. We needs to have a sense of understanding developed through the bodhicitta skillful method. For example, like in my case, when I become vegetarian, since I am very, how do you say, heavy meat eater, I'm like a fox, I'm like really like those lions and, those wild animals, you know. I love eating meat. And then nobody told me anything. In fact, of course, in our society, people eat meat. Even the monks, Rinpoche's masters, they eat meat. Of course, I don't have any sense of judging anyway. Judgmental mind is, I don't want to judge them. But I took this liberty to be vegetarian because I see that there is something wrong taking lives of others and enjoying yourself. So I sort of like I tell myself that there is something wrong. So that kind of particular understanding told me to be vegetarian. But I'm not kicking big fuss out of it also, because I appreciate whoever is eating what. I don't know. I don't mind. I don't care. But actual fact, I took my liberty to take the decision to be vegetarian and not having this. That time I was 17 years old. So ever since then I just took my liberty. Even though some doctor says you shouldn't, some people said no, you're going to be thin, you're going to be very thin, and you're going to be sick, you're going to be having no power, no strength, no energy. Whatever people say, I just took liberty to be a vegetarian. Why? Because I somehow I understand that's the way it should be. Because if you don't eat, if I don't eat, my student will not eat. And then let's say like my handful of students, maybe I have maybe 10,000 students in the world. But of course 10,000 students, if they don't eat meat, what do you call that? Consumer. The consumer is less by 10,000. Then, of course, the killing animal will also be less by that amount, that particular amount. So consumer is really the one thing. We, instead of talking, please don't slaughter. Yeah, but if they, what if they say, please don't eat? If you don't eat, then there's, the consumer is not there, then of course the slaughtering, the amount of slaughter will definitely be lessened. So it's a good movement, the good direction that you move towards, and also the decision. So that sort of thing, Of course, if you do not have some sort of a bodhicitta understanding, then you don't want to be vegetarian. Definitely, you don't want to be vegetarian. Why? Because I like eating meat, as I said. Up until now, it's like maybe 30 years ago already, but still I love smell of the smell of meat, the meat food, meat dishes. Especially I like barbecue. Barbecue. So I love it. I can't sort of like, if I don't have a decision to put on that sort of, I will definitely eat. And I think by now I'll be so big and so heavy. Maybe I'm dead already, Really, a lot of sicknesses also will be coming, definitely. But that's the thing. So that sort of thing, you should decide, the decision should be taken based on the vajraya, the bodhicitta vow. But of course, bodhicitta vow is something that maybe it's written in a book and you have to follow. Again, obligation. No, but you have to do through the bodhicitta study bodhicitta sort of like a script. For example, you have to practice bodhicitta charyavatara, and also those books that are written by the holy enlightened masters, and then you just study and try to sort of develop your own understanding a little more, a little further. Then you will be deciding. The decision will be taken very easily. Next. 3, I just give 3, then we will give a break.
Drukpa Rinpoche, un gusto estar en tu presencia. Yo tengo una pregunta más intelectual en cuanto a la práctica del refugio. Yo la había aprendido y la practico hasta el día de hoy, refugiando o tomando refugio en el Ama, en el Buda, en la Sangha y en las enseñanzas, pues. Veo que en la práctica de hoy se sacó de la ecuación al Ama, en este caso su santidad. ¿Hay una razón fundamental para esto o simplemente son diferentes prácticas de tomar refugio?
I took Lama away right now because it has to come from Vinaya. We call it Lamrim. We call it Lamrim. It has to be started from a Theravadan understanding and also the Bodhicitta understanding after that. Then the Bodhisattva, the uncommon Bodhisattva practice, Vajrayana practice. Until the Vajrayana practice, the Lama doesn't come in a picture very much. Lama in the sense, Lama, of course, speaking about Lama, I think, I would say nowadays Lama means entire, maybe like some tribe, some Nepalese tribe, also called Lama. So Mr. Lama, Mrs. Lama, you know, there are many Lamas, you know. Peru, there is a one Lama animal, no? Huh? Yeah, very nice one, very cute one. Very pity also, because people kill him. No? People kill him using their skin and fur and whatever, you know. Very bad, as usual, anyway. But looks very, very cute. Very nice. That's also called Lama, yeah? Lama, yes. Anyway. To us, it's the same thing. Maybe for you, it's a little different pronunciation. But anyway. So that sort of thing, you know, the words Lama is very common anyway now, very, very common, unfortunately. Otherwise, Lama is a Lama is like a Vajradhara. Vajradhara is, Lama is nobody but Vajradhara, you know. It needs to be Vajradhara, the Buddha, fully enlightened one. So therefore, in Vajrayana, Lama is really not only just one of the refuge, but the Lama is the essence of the refuge. So just now I wasn't really talking about Lama because of this, we are going through the first we have to know about the common refuge and then the uncommon, then the secret and the reality state of the refuge. So we are going to going to give a break a little bit, maybe a 15 minutes break or something like that. The lunch is, according to this paper, very late. Sorry. 2:15. Lunch starts. Very hungry, no? Yeah? Wrong? Yeah.
I think the break is now from 1 to...
Yeah.
It's only 15 minutes.
He couldn't believe it. Okay, that's it. Please go. Stand up and stretch your leg.